The power of silence and stillness. Rick Rubin gives silence immense value. He says silence isn't just the absence of noise. Silence is a fertile space where creativity is born. Silence is not emptiness, it's presence. When you quiet down, you start to hear the voices inside you. The thoughts running while you're distracted. The feelings hidden beneath the day's chaos. The subtle observations that can turn into entire works of art. Rick sees meditation and silence as bridges, connecting the outer world with your inner self. They're moments when you return to your true self, without distraction, comparison, or rush. Silence as a creative tool. You don't have to sit cross-legged and meditate for hours. Even a short moment of stopping, being still, noticing your breath, or gazing out a window with a calm mind. These moments open internal doors. Rick connects inner emptiness with creativity. He says ideas come when you have a space inside to receive them. Practical exercise. Before you start writing, drawing, or creative thinking, turn off your phone and sit quietly for 5 minutes. Don't try to do anything, just observe. Open yourself to something new that might appear. You'll be surprised how much this small space can shift your state and open a new path. Silence isn't the absence of sound. It's the presence of everything. Chaos is part of the creative process. Rick Rubin breaks the ideal image many of us have about creativity. The image of the artist calmly working, organized, and knowing exactly what they're doing. He tells us, that's not always the truth. Sometimes chaos isn't a flaw, it's essential. Chaos is not your enemy, it's your companion. At the start of any creative project, everything is usually scattered. You have many ideas but don't know how to connect them. You have a feeling but can't shape it into something tangible. Or you can't even start because nothing feels clear. Rick reassures us, this is normal. More than that, it's healthy. This chaotic phase isn't a sign of failure. It's a core part of forming any great idea. True creativity isn't a straight line. It's winding, messy, unpredictable. Why is chaos important? Because it opens up possibilities you wouldn't see if everything was orderly. In the heart of disorder, unexpected connections, brilliant ideas, or moments of truth can emerge. Rick compares creativity to birth. Painful, confusing, but ultimately life-giving. The most important lesson here: don't try to fix everything from the start. Allow yourself to make mistakes, get messy, and search through the clutter. Start even if you don't know where you're going, the idea will guide you. Practical exercise. When you feel disorganized or confused. 1. Write down all your thoughts without order. 2. Draw, cut, paste, write randomly. 3. Step away for a day and come back. You'll find something new forming out of the chaos. Confusion and uncertainty are fertile grounds for creativity. Creativity as discovery, not invention. Rick Rubin flips the traditional idea of creativity. People think artists create something from nothing, generating ideas from their heads like they never existed before. But Rubin says, you're not inventing, you're discovering. The difference between invention and discovery. Invention means creating something new that didn't exist before. Discovery means finding something that already existed. Rick believes ideas are all around us. Floating in space, in collective consciousness, in nature, in silence, in everyday moments. But not everyone is open enough to pick them up. The creator isn't an engineer. The creator is a receiver. Just like a radio catches waves that were already there. The artist receives signals, images, feelings, and translates them into sound, words, or visuals. That means your role isn't to invent genius from scratch, but to be present, connected, aware. So you can notice when an idea arrives. And trust it, even if it seems simple. Practical application. Instead of asking, what should I create? Ask, what is trying to emerge? When an idea comes, even if it's strange or small, don't judge it right away. Hold it, develop it, and let it reveal itself. Trust that you're on a path of discovery, not a test. Rick Rubin believes everyone has the ability to connect to the creative source. They just need to be quiet a little, open their hearts, and pay attention. Discipline without self-punishment. Rick Rubin offers a completely different vision of discipline. In our culture, discipline is often linked to harshness, force, and punishment. But Rubin says, you don't have to beat yourself up to stay committed. You can love the act itself and repeat it with kindness and respect. Creativity doesn't need self-flagellation. Many creatives fall into this trap. I didn't work enough today. I'm lazy, a failure, undisciplined. I have to work 8 hours like those people. Rick says, true persistence isn't pushing yourself hard. It's continuing, even if it's little or tired. But without hurting your spirit. Balance effort with compassion. It's important to work and stay consistent, but more important to protect your mental and creative energy. Meaning, set deadlines, but don't hate yourself if you miss them. Try to be regular, but don't become a slave to results. Forgive yourself for delays and get back on track as if starting fresh. The goal isn't perfection, it's continuity. Creativity isn't a race. You don't have to produce greatness every day, but take small steps daily. Even if it's just internally, just thinking or noticing. Rick sees the process itself as the prize. The moment you sit to work on your idea, even if nothing comes out, is itself a creative act. Practical exercise. Create a daily, creative ritual. 15 minutes writing in your journal. 30 minutes playing with any idea that comes to mind. Or just sitting quietly, trying to catch a new signal. It doesn't matter what you produce. What matters is that you maintain your intimate connection to creativity. Without harshness, without fear. It's not about forcing the work. It's about showing up for it, again and again. Trusting the unknown. In a world that loves certainty, plans, and clear steps, Rick Rubin tells us that true creativity is born in the unknown. He sees the real creator as a risk-taker, entering unfamiliar territory. Trusting the journey will lead to something real, even if they can't yet see what that is. Creativity as a journey in the fog. Often we start working on an idea not knowing where it will lead, if it will succeed, if people will like it. Rubin says, if you wait to be sure of the outcome, you'll never start. Creativity requires courage. Courage to begin without a map. You don't have to see the whole path. The creative path isn't a straight line. It's a maze, right, left, back, sudden flashes, then confusion again. And that's normal. Rick says the moments when you feel lost are exactly when you're closest to true discovery. Trust isn't in the idea, it's in yourself. You don't have to be sure about the idea, but you must trust that you'll handle whatever comes. Ideas may change, evolve, but your trust in yourself as a creator remains steady. Practical exercise. When you start a new project, don't think about the result. Focus only on the next step. When you feel lost, ask, what is the inner voice trying to tell me? Be flexible. If something new appears, follow it even if it changes your direction. Creativity doesn't need certainty. It needs faith that if you take step by step, what's inside you will find its way out. Uncertainty is where creativity lives. The process is the art. One of the strongest ideas in the book. Rick Rubin sees the artwork not as the final product, the painting, song, book, video, but as the journey the artist goes through to reach inspiration. Art isn't the thing. Art is the transformation inside you. The artist isn't just a maker of products. The artist is a human undergoing a profound inner experience. Hesitation, wonder, confusion, satisfaction, doubt, hope. All are part of the artwork. Rick says the final product is just the imprint of that journey. Like a footprint, not the step itself. The result is just a gift from the journey. If you keep thinking about what will please people or sell, you lose much of the spirit that makes the work real. The creative process, with all its fear, joy, and changes, is what shapes you as a creator. That's the true gift. Practical exercise. When working on anything, be present with your whole being. Not just to produce a successful product, but to live the whole journey. Write your feelings while working. Not just your ideas, but the changes inside you. When you finish, don't cling to the result. Ask yourself, how have I changed? The art is not the artifact. It's the transformation we undergo in the act of making.